hello, everyone, and welcome. Did the notification go out? The notification didn't go out yet. I did it too quick. I forgot to hit the go live button at first.
Damn it, Scotty.
Come on, Scotty.
You know how it goes. I was just telling Blake how fancy and high tech I am because I bought a darn computer. Doesn't mean I know how to use it.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
Where's the notification? Look at that. All right. Let's see here.
Eduardo.
We got Bex in here all early while I'm still driving home probably. Kyle.
Sorry, Myrtle was actually first, and I think it was yesterday because it says 9:05 p.m.
Yeah, that was And Kyle says he'll be number one in my heart, of course. And Eduardo. Just remember, Kyle, no shouting. You got to stay quiet. Doc's here.
He likes him quiet. That's what he's saying.
The devil.
Sparkles the devil.
I almost shit myself today. You know, I'm in a
Metaphorically or literally?
Well, yeah. I am in an aquarium, 2,000 people probably. Well, not at once. You know, maybe 1,000. But all of a sudden, I hear one of the other managers call, and it brought back nightmares from the crowd. Matt's here. Hello. Stephen P is here. And that is it so far. I'll tell you, we probably won't get a lot of people because there's people all across the country right now having a good time without us. But we're having our own good time, so it's good. There's Fishtoberfest on the West Coast going on. That's where Steven is. We have Aquashella in the middle with Jenna and a bunch of other people. We have some catfish thing going on. Where's that at? I don't even know.
The Cataclysm?
Yes, Virginia.
Michigan? I thought it's usually Michigan. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Madison, I think.
Cataclysm's a different show than what Scotty's talking about.
Okay.
What am I talking about?
You're talking about the All Aquarium Catfish Convention by Potomac Valley in Virginia.
That thing. Exactly. And then I feel like there's one other going on. I think there's a saltwater event going on as well right now. Right?
CatCon.
The queen of the AKA is here. Hi, Sarah. And
It's a way to wake up.
yeah.
Someone's got to fill me in on that because I don't know about the cacao going on.
You missed it?
I must have.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks for filling me in, Scotty.
So, hold on. Let's go up to here. Let me scroll. The devil. Okay. I'm walking through the atrium of the hotel, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's quiet, peaceful, relaxing, up on the top floor, outside the elevator, at the top of her lungs, there's a cacao.
Oh, that echoes in there too. Even quiet, it echoes. Yep. That's terrible.
Yep. And it continued all throughout the weekend.
How did I not hear it one single time?
I don't know.
We were all doing it. That's how McStreamy crew finds each other is caca. That's just how it works. Me, Stephen P, Jenna P, Scotty. That's how we found Scotty.
And I guess that's how the photo manager of the aquarium finds her people too. I guess. I don't freaking know.
Skipper.
No, forget that guy. He didn't text me back.
So
He
then
does
you
not.
Are you joining us, or are you too busy?
know what?
He
And-
won't get it
Skipper?
for 3 hours. He's on the West Coast, so
Yeah.
he won't get it for the 3 hours.
That works both ways, Skipper. Listen here, you little shit. Why aren't you up here, huh?
Why didn't you text me back, you dick?
Yeah.
I love you, Skipper.
You're right.
Alshon's here. CatCon is in Herndon, Virginia. And Coletti and the Apostles are there.
What's the Apostles? What's Coletti and the Apostles? I know who
the Jersey
Ted is.
people. The Jersey people would be the
The
Apostles, I'm
Apostles.
assuming.
Okay.
And that's a good thing that she has customers. And
Skipper and Steven seem to be in an ass room. Steven said Skipper is in the same loud ass room as I am. What exactly is the ass room? I'm
Skipper.
just curious. They have rooms for different parts, or
One of those conventions, huh?
yeah. Welcome to the ass room.
Now I gotta find this because I'm either gonna feel bad or I'm gonna prove them wrong. Skipper, if you look at your phone at Monday 7:23 p.m., you do have the
Oh,
link.
damn. Dates and times.
Monday.
Oh man, he has the receipts and everything.
Yeah, he got receipts. He got receipts. No.
Analytical areas.
Come on, Tom. I'm tired of having a CCY meeting right after the Clash. I want a week in between.
The only reason he wants to push it back a week because 30 years ago he got married on that week.
Yeah.
Oh my god, here we go.
Well, damn.
She must no longer have customers. Hi, vibes, and welcome. All right. So, I first want to thank everyone for joining me. We have Blake, the president of the CCY and member of the 2022 Senior Admin Committee for the Clash. We have Rico, the one and only. We have the wonderful couple, Bex and Kyle. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Appreciate it.
They look like puppets.
CCY, what is that? So that is the Cichlid Club of York, one of the two co-hosting clubs of the Keystone Clash there, Eduardo. Normally my stream is all about the clubs and stuff like that, but I felt it would be appropriate to do a recap of the Keystone Clash because it is a fundraiser for the two clubs, and it's volunteers from the two clubs and more that run it. So I figured that would be appropriate. And we value everyone's feedback. We want to hear what everyone thought. We want to hear the good and the bad. We want to hear it all. Next year, Blake is going to be one of the co-assistant chairs of the Clash, moving up a little bit in the world, and hopefully grooming him for the future, because I am not going to be the chairperson forever, let me tell you.
I don't want it either, man.
Oh, thanks.
More responsibility, but the same pay, right? There's no pay raise there.
Hey, look, someone found the link.
Man.
Man, screw that guy.
You said you weren't going to be able to make it, so I didn't send you a reminder. Oh, no.
Turn your phone sideways.
No, I don't want to.
Do it, Skipper.
Yes, dear.
There he is. There they are. Hello.
Oh, look at all these people.
Shanna is an Amazon woman.
Oh, wow.
How y'all doing?
That's brutal.
He does the cacaw call and look what shows up. Oh, he was watching it in there during his speaking thing.
Oh boy. So the surveys did go out to everyone. Hopefully, if you did not receive a survey, please let me know. I want everyone to fill them out, please. If you're a vendor, there's the vendor one. If you're a speaker, there's a speaker one, and if there's an attendee one. We would like everyone to fill them out because we really value the feedback. That is what we use every year to make the next one better. So I guess we'll just go around the group, and I want to hear what you all thought, and what everyone. Uh-oh.
You really want to do that?
Go ahead.
You really want me to go and tell you what I thought about the Keystone class?
Oh crap! Hold on, I'm pushing buttons.
Hashtag bed skirts.
Oh my god.
There we go. All right, Skipper.
What kind of question you asking here?
For those that were not at the clash, talk about it and talk about the good and the bad.
The only bad I would have to say is the flow of traffic for some of the vendors because they were so spread out.
Okay.
You had them all mixed up. They should have been kind of sectioned off. It would have helped them out. That's the only thing that I saw in the vendor area. Other than that, it was actually a pretty good event. It was actually really good, even though somebody was cracking the whip the whole time. But other than that, it was good.
Blake, why'd you do that?
He wasn't putting airline up fast enough.
Yeah, and then I yelled at Blake, and his feelings got hurt.
Hey, we still have that Slim Jim.
Yeah, it's
I don't
gone.
want to know.
It's
I don't
getting
wanna
back
know.
to you at one point.
She ate that Slim Jim.
Nah, it's sitting right on my counter right now. You're getting it back at some point.
It's gonna be all moldy by next year.
Oh,
That's all I really have to say about it. It was a lot more that was definitely going on. There was a lot of stuff that was going on. Maybe for the art section, for whenever if a suggestion for that would be make different categories, like maybe a couple more.
2D and a 3D.
I didn't hear that.
2D and 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Other than that, it was really good.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. Didn't do it. There we go.
Oh,
God, look at that Sasquatch.
love you, Skipper. I don't mean from
He's done.
volunteer standpoint. I mean, I think it went about as smooth as it could. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. Next year, we're talking about having more space. So I think that can fix some things. I definitely want to see the vendor room shut down for like an hour to give these poor people a break, though. Like, Bex, did you have a table, right? How
Yeah, I
was
did.
being there for all that time? That was probably a little rough.
That's one of my biggest things is vendor hours should definitely be business hours, stricter, because then not only does it give us a chance to inventory, do all that type of thing, but it also forces the customers to make purchases, because what happens is they know they have all that time. They kind of lollygag and dilly-dally through, and they don't really buy anything. And because they're like, I've got all this time in the world. And then they end up going to speakers and all this other stuff, and they run out of time, or they just don't make a purchase because other stuff. So tighter vendor hours for sure. 100%, like 9 to 6, done.
And honestly, on that note, I also feel like, there comes a certain time where it's not worth being open that late.
Yeah.
I mean, I think after 5, 6 o'clock, everybody's getting ready to go to dinner. And
I'm sorry, we're gonna-
do whatever's taking place.
I'm having a real hard time here, and okay, Skipper's muted. Okay,
I
Sorry.
muted him. Sorry.
okay. There was too much going on. I couldn't hear what Bex or was Kyle was saying. Sorry, Kyle.
Okay. Anyway, so just kind of on that note, I feel like there comes a certain time where it's not worth vendors being open. After 5, 6 o'clock, I think everybody's getting ready to settle in, go to dinner, and do whatever they're going to do in the evening.
Yep.
keeping it open until 9, 11 o'clock. There, I don't really see much of a point in doing that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be in the vendor area that late.
Everybody was already shutting down on Saturday by 6 o'clock, especially because the award ceremony was going, and a lot of the vendors had fish in the show. I had art in the show, so we were like, we want to shut down and see the award ceremony because that was such a big deal.
Right. Blake, out of all of us, you've attended the Clash the most. Tell us about previous, like numbers wise, previous events compared to now, this year.
I mean,
Like
overall,
prize
this is
stuff like that.
This is definitely the biggest, like, attendance-wise. The only thing I can say was bigger the one year, it was 2019. We had like 500-something fish show entries, but we also had multiple people bring in 50, almost 100 entries, just one or two people.
Right.
So, but aside from fish show entries, I mean, we knocked it out of the park. I mean, sponsorships are way up. We never had this many vendors. 2019 was another year we had a bigger vendor room, but I think even then, maybe like, I think it was like 15 vendors compared to 30 plus.
Yeah.
But I mean, back when I first started this, we had, I think it was like 50 was like our first big year, 50, 60 people. Now we're clearing 200. I mean, it's just amazing to see how much it's grown.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right. Still loud there? No. All right. Next on the list. Aha. Look at that sexy mug.
Hi. So I like that you've got a vendor, you've got a volunteer, and then you just got this poor schlub. I like that that was, I don't know if you meant to do that because I don't feel like you planned that. I feel like
you were
just got
skipper.
What's that?
You talk about you or skipper being the poor schlub.
We're both poor schlubs. We really are. I think he's a little more schlubby than I am. Anyways, I really don't have any negative feedback at all. I had a blast. Now, this is my second year going. Definitely way better than last year. I think you guys solved a lot of the problems that I shouldn't say a lot of problems. You solved some of the problems that you had last year, especially the vendor room. I was very, very uncomfortable in the vendor room last year. This year was awesome. I spent most of my time in there at our little booth over there in the corner. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the speakers this year, but part of that was I wasn't super interested in the topics. I get it. I mean, there's a million different topics, and you're not going to be able to get it for everybody. I can't think of any real negatives as somebody going to watch the event. It was a blast. Kudos to the hospitality suite. That was amazing. Last year was the hospitality suite last year was good. I enjoyed it. We spent a lot of time there. This year, through the roof. It was just, so much better. Great job on that. The YouTube room, I don't think people really knew what to expect from that. And I think that was a very good setup. We do need to, I think there's one thing we need to do there is just have a laptop available. Either people are told to bring one if they're going to stream or whatever, because people with phones weren't able to utilize all that good equipment that you guys brought. So maybe a laptop placed there that has some type of, somebody signs in from the board for you guys, whatever. I don't know. We can work on that. So again, no real negatives to speak of. I had a blast. I can't wait for next year. I'm just waiting for you to, tell us when to start buying tickets, and I'll be right there first in line. Super excited to go back again. I'm growing out guppies for the event. We're gonna collect a ton of driftwood again to bring.
I didn't get any of your hardwood.
That's on you, buddy. You're just too busy.
You offered it, but I didn't have.
What's wrong, Blake? Why are you laughing, Blake? I just like to say my wood is coast to coast now, and that's pretty impressive. It's been handled throughout the United States, and that was fun. That was fun. That was one of my favorite parts, being out there and just most of the fish fam being able to hang out for just a few minutes and talk and have a good time, and everybody got some good driftwood, and I got to sign Eric's ass, and I mean that
Yeah.
the whole event was just the whole event. That's what we'll call the signing. It was the whole event. The whole event.
Oh,
I guess I got kicked out.
Johnny, Jesus.
Good job, Scotty. Amazing job, Scotty, Blake, all you people, Skipper, everybody that put it on. Anybody who was on the fence about going to this event or Fishtoberfest or AquaticCon, any of these events, just go, because you are. I guarantee you're just going to absolutely love it. It's just an amazing time with a bunch of amazing people, and it is really worth all the time and effort that it takes to get there, wherever you live. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, we get to offer two different perspectives, because you have me as a vendor who was there doing my art booth selling, and you have me as there as the attendee who's a fish nerd, and then you have Kyle, who was a tag along, who is not a fish nerd, but ended up having a freaking blast.
I think that's 3 perspectives.
Yeah, basically. So 3. So you
Exactly.
we're 3-in-1 package right here. So as a vendor, first of all, very few negatives, and they were so minuscule that I don't think they were a factor, and doesn't affect how, I think about the Clash as a vendor. I see those as just kind of steps in a path to make Keystone Clash even better for next year.
Yes.
If you address them. We've already talked about those basically with the vendor space vendor room. This was my first ever time being a vendor. This was my first ever time selling my art, and this was my first ever fish event. And basically my experience there is having me already planning and ready to go for next year. Like on my first booth, because of everything going on, the amount of people you guys had come in and the interest, I broke even on my first booth, made a profit. And not only that, but I came in, I entered the fish show as one of the artists with, one of the art entries, and I won 2nd place on my very first art show ever to Sam Scales. So, and I made friends with Sam Scales. So, I got to network. As a vendor, I got to network. I got to get feedback, because everybody who came to my booth, the first question out of my mouth was, what fish do you keep at home? What fish are you interested in seeing? And so now I know that my next couple projects for next year need to be plecos, discus, and cichlids. So
and
no. You got a killifish, you little shit. You got the golden wonder. That's the best you get. Everything else, I know what it's about what the people want, you potentate.
Potentate.
Yes. As he sits in his big old chair like the head potentate over there. I love you, Scotty. I love you. But no, it was
that should be the name. Yeah, I think you really should take that instead of chairperson of the board. It needs to be potentate. I love it. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard it forever.
It was great, Scotty. From a vendor's perspective, the very few things that I had tiny gripes with aren't enough to make me not want to come back. In fact, all the positives of being a vendor wanting to come back, do even better, bring more things, and feel even better prepared and more successful for next year. As an attendee, it was amazing. I think all of you guys did a fantastic job. I think the best part about the Clash as an attendee and as a Fish Fam person attendee and a YouTuber was the YouTube room for sure. It was the hospitality room for sure, as somebody who had the full package ticket. And I think that all the stuff that was going on in between all of the events, in between all the speakers, being able to hang out with everybody and meet people face to face and have amazing conversations, make the 26-hour drive one way that we did
Do you see Blake's
Just-
face when you said that?
Yes.
Damn.
One way, 26 hours. We had to drive back 26 hours because we're in Colorado, Blake. Yeah,
God bless you.
it was worth it. But that should tell you something, right? That you have people driving from Colorado for this event. And despite the utter exhaustion that we experienced, we are already planning to bid those days off for the class next year, make the drive again, and come back.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I already booked the hotel midway.
Yeah, we're already like
in
we're booking
Illinois.
on Sunday. As soon as they open those weeks up to book, we're booking right now. Like that's where we are. So that should tell you everything. Kyle, a quick couple seconds on a non-fish nerd, how you felt about the class.
I mean, I
And
don't really have
remember,
much.
Kyle, indoor voices.
Well, I mean, I don't really have much to say that hasn't already been said. You know, it was a great event. I mean, it's a full schedule. There's a lot to do. Again, I didn't see any of the speakers because I was helping her out. But you know, just seeing the camaraderie and just the I don't know what the friendship that everybody kind of experienced both on the YouTube side and just, you know, the club's members themselves. You know, it in a way, it was kind of inspiring.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what your favorite part was. Go ahead and tell them.
I got a Rico caress, an ass caress, you know. he comes up, gives me a hug, and I just feel like that gentle caress going down my right butt cheek.
Because I said I was going to
pretty
pinch his
jealous
ass. So instead of pinching his ass, I just gave him a little, you know.
Didn't
Gotta
you get
ease him
two?
into it.
Didn't you get two caresses?
I did get two, didn't I? Yes.
Yeah.
You had a good time though. Like,
Yeah.
you-
Oh, yeah. I had a great time. You know, it was great. You know, finally meeting Skipper and Scotty and I guess Rico. And great meeting, you know, Blake for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely something to do again next year that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And we're going to make the 26-hour drive again.
Yep.
Crazy. That's
Yep.
insane. All right. So
Real quick, Scotty, before you go any farther, you did have a few more people come in the
Yes.
chat there. I was looking.
that is exactly where I am going.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, you're good. Thank you. There's a few things in the chat that I do want to highlight here. So I'll start with mentioning the hotel. So we do not have a signed contract yet. We have a draft. Our drafted weekend is the same weekend, the 22nd, 23rd, whatever that is. But it is not signed yet. So that's my disclaimer. With that, hotel marketing makes absolutely no sense to me. That's why I'm not in that field, probably. But despite my fight that has started months ago for next year, we are going to have more rooms, but we are not going to have the entire hotel. I want the entire hotel. They won't give it to me yet. I'm still fighting them. And I can be that annoying little gnat too. So one thing that I'll recommend is, as I don't know what Skipper's doing. As soon as we open it up, get your rooms. If you are able to share a room with someone, do it. I'm fighting as hard as I can to get as many rooms as I can, but they're not really budging that much.
Scotty,
So-
don't tell Annette she can share a room with us.
Well, she ain't sharing one with me.
Oh, she heard you. She said she's sharing a room with you now.
Yuns.
Yuns.
Yins.
Yeah, yeah.
Yins.
And then I'm going to try to reach out to some of the neighboring places and see if we can get some deals with them. Let's see here. Scroll down. Hello, Dennis Christensen. Welcome. Fishymon needs a speechwriter.
I thought it was perfect.
A lot of people did.
That definitely showed the mix in the crowd, the reaction. 100%.
Yes.
Especially the little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and the old people behind them wanted to fight them.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
And in front of them. Mr. V, hello. I'm not even trying to say the name. I always butcher it.
Vanassi.
Let's see. I thought we had a little break in between at lunchtime between speakers.
I think it was like an hour. And that's when they did give a kid a tank.
Right. Eduardo's one step ahead of me. I said it during the award ceremony, and I'm going to continue saying it. The Fish Fam was the biggest supporter of this event. They made up for at least half the attendance, over half of the revenue. So the numbers are amazing.
You know,
And
I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Scotty. I don't mean to talk over you. I'm curious how, and I know you probably don't care that much, but I'm curious how the, the old timers, the people that have been going every year, feel about that, having this big group of people come in that are pretty close, that know each other, and sort of not, I don't want to say we took over, but just having such a big voice and there, how do they feel about that?
I did not hear a single thing about it, which to me is a good thing.
Yeah.
If anything, I think it was a positive because there's more people jumping into the streams. I mean, we have Blake in here right now. That's you know what I mean. It's slow. It's slowly building people, bringing people in. So I think it's a positive thing. During the award ceremony, was there 2 older people that cringed and complained after Fishymon said what he said? Yes. But overall, I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It was addressed. It's done. It's over. I did not see any issues with or hear of any issues from anyone about the Fish Fam. I think it's a beautiful thing. Blake, did you hear anything or any feedback?
It was me. I think it was a lot more curiosity because I'm only 26, but I relate to a lot of those old timers because that's where I grew up through the club. I've been in the club 10 years and I didn't really do much with YouTube. I mean, obviously Joey came out. That was the big deal. Then Rachel O'Leary. And then locally we had Scott and Liz. But other than that, I never really touched on YouTube. And it was amazing, honestly, to see the Fish Fam come out because I knew everybody saying, oh, this big, I call it a conglomerate of YouTubers. And to see how big the mass is actually, it's crazy. And I'm told that's like half of you guys. There's even more of you guys out there.
Oh, that's not even 10%.
No.
I mean,
oh, wow.
I mean, that's a small percentage of the community's thousands of people. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see and how much the whole YouTube perspective has changed because there was a lot of negativity from the older generation on YouTube and people come on, they just want to do the entertainment side. And I saw that different YouTubers, but they didn't last long. It seems like what you guys have now, it's a lot of knowledgeable people who are willing to share what they have. And more importantly, you guys are just a real big, tight-knit group. I only met Lefty and Skipper. Well, I met Lefty first because he won a challenge through our club. I mean, he's up in where is he at? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, he's up in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and winning a thing down here with our York club, and he joined. And then shortly after, I met that goofy guy there in the blue hat who's not paying attention. But it's just crazy meeting one of you here and there throughout the show. It's just really cool to see how big this whole group actually is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and not to mention the talent for sure. Hello, Chris Aquazone, welcome. Sky Dancer, hello. Winning artist, hell yeah. John from Select Pet. As if I didn't already want to go next year, talking to people that went has made me want to go even more. Plus now this stream. That's right. And we're not done yet. Mickham, so great to see how you do events in the US and to see you all fantastic people. I mean, we do allow international visitors. Let's see here. Tall people, yeah, they were everywhere, Eduardo. And let's see here.
Scotty,
Yes.
would it be okay if I kind of touched on a little bit of that idea about YouTube and kind of the, I don't know, misperception that a lot of people have that we're just in it for the views?
Let me say hello to Jimmy P. I hope you're feeling better. I know you were going through some tough
Yes.
times again. And there you go. Go for it.
Yeah, so that was, and this is something Rico has hit on a lot, is part of the reason why we wanted, or he wanted to make that playlist of videos is to show people that we actually aren't in it for the views. We're in it for the education and the community, and that we take care of our tanks and we love our fish. And it's not, you know, it's not about the views. We are very dedicated, devoted fish keepers. We just like to chronicle the journey that we take. Screw you, Skipper. You just ruined my speech.
I know it distracted me. Yeah. And the community aspect of it, you know, is huge. It's
Yes.
massive. I've been in tons of communities throughout my years, all the different hobbies that I've had, and never, ever, ever have I been in this type of close-knit community where 90% of the people are just amazing and just want to support other people. They don't want to tear them down. We have those people, but they're a tiny, tiny minority of the group. Everybody wants to support each other and raise everybody up and just, you know, spread the knowledge and the joy. And it's not just fish, you know, it's not just fish.
No.
There's more to it. It's people.
Yeah.
Fish people.
And,
Yeah.
and I can agree with that. You know, I've been involved in a number of hobbies that have nothing to do with fish keeping. And
Airplanes.
like airplanes, yes. But it, from what I've seen, you know, the Fish Fam is among the most generous, giving groups of any group I've been associated with. You know, there's no gatekeeping going on in any of this. It's, hey, I was a beginner too. Let me tell you let me show you how I learned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the support level. And not just with the fish keeping either, with life. We
Yes.
know no matter what that we have Fish Fam as a backup. You know, what's going on with Lefty right now? We've all got Lefty's back right now with what he's going through. He's made it public, so I feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
But with me, I would have never undertaken the endeavor to become a sole proprietorship and sell my art if it were not for this group of people called the Fish Fam. The end.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, and that's what we try to do as much as we can at the event to be able to support the Fish Fam. It's a big part of it, and the support is overwhelming. And you know, we're gonna have Skipper here is going to be a member of the senior admin committee in 2023.
I quit.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of the first times that the class has expanded beyond the two local clubs and Bucks County, because we have Cali on it. But to my knowledge, it's the first time where the senior committee has expanded beyond that. But I think it was a jump that we needed to do for 2023 because of the support, the attendance, the revenue from the Fish Fam, from YouTube, and it's the direction that life is going. You know, YouTube is growing constantly, and we need to embrace it. So, you know, one of the subcommittees this year is going to be YouTube and Fish Fam, and we need someone to be the point of contact, the representative for that, and that's going to be one of Skipper's many jobs in addition to hanging airline.
He's got to learn how to text people back first, though.
I know, right?
Rico.
So yeah, that's definitely one way that we're going, one thing that we're doing. As far as 2022 goes, the one of the weaknesses from our side that we have identified, and again, we learned a lot this year. One of them is we didn't keep very good data. It was overwhelming. We need more help, etc. So I unfortunately don't have an exact number of what the attendance was. We know it is well over 200, right around 250. But one thing that we didn't really do is track the walk-ins, that because it was free to come in to see the vendor room. We don't know how many people that was. Bye, Skipper. Thank you. Have fun. So, that was one of the things is, we need to track that better. We don't know exactly how many people there were. But we know it was around 250. I'd say counting the walk-ins, it was over 250. The vendor room, we had some no-shows, but they paid, so that's fine. But that was one thing. We did have some no-shows, and there was one person that registered, somehow managed not to pay, and did not show up. But that's one thing that we want to touch on and focus on more in the future, is that was one space that we could have sold to someone on the waiting list. So, we learned a lot. And tomorrow night, we're having our committee recap meeting to close out the 2023 year. And that's why we sent out the surveys. That's why I wanted to have this stream, because we do want to get as much information as possible to present tomorrow night. So next year we are going to have the other expo hall as well. Nothing official yet, but we're thinking having a vendor space room and maybe a hobbyist table swap area type thing. Which I think will make it more fair for both, having them separate. I think that would be better. Another thing that we're going to work on is maxing the number of vendor spaces a company can have. And the same for the number of tables, because we don't really want a business going into the swap room and getting 10 tables when they should be in the vendor room, stuff like that. Tables, we're going to include a table in with the vendor spaces. It's going to happen. And a lot more. I mean, we start planning the next year's clash before the clash even happens. And I probably do a good portion of my workload immediately after the clash for the following year. I mean, I've probably been spending an hour a day since the clash working on next year's clash already. And it's one of the reasons I bought a computer, because I need to be more productive. Blake, what else do you think we've learned or stuff like that from your standpoint?
Fish people drink a lot. I found that out real quick. I could not believe how little was left, man. They tore that up.
Would you say they drink like fishes?
You could say that. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
But I definitely think, and I know we don't really get the crew that would disagree with this in the streams and stuff like that, but we definitely need to stop reusing the same speakers so much. I think that kind of hurts. You look in that vendor room, or not vendor room, the speaker room, we had 200 something people. We had like 30 people per speaker.
That was the average, was 30, yeah.
That's honestly like the least I've ever seen in a speaker room there. But out of those speakers, I've seen every single one of them at least once, just in our local clubs. The only one I have not seen in person was Joe Gargas.
You saw Keegan?
Yeah. Oh no. This was Tom's first one. I mean, I've met Tom before, but
Yeah,
I've seen Jim a couple times. I've seen Capil's talk at ACLC,
yeah,
and I've seen Greg numerous times, a lot of events. But my suggestion was whenever every speaker they had at Triple Crown, don't even touch them next year. Just get all new blood in, people we've never had before. Keep recycling speakers like that. It's just not. I don't think it's a good deal.
yeah. We're so far, based on the surveys, it looks like that was one of the biggest dislikes. I'll say was the speakers, not the individual speakers. I mean, those that went to the speakers did like them,
Right?
but it wasn't attractive to the attendees as much as we would like it. Yeah. So I mean, we take all of the feedback and we do our best to improve every year. It's good business for sure. One thing with the hospitality room that we're probably going to, let me rephrase this. Something I'm going to propose to the committee is we're going to cut the hours a little bit. It's terrible to staff when it's open as much as it was. It's not fair to those working. So we need to limit it a little bit. The idea of the hospitality room is not to be a restaurant, a free restaurant. It's more so to be able to go and hang out, have a drink, and unwind a little bit, and have some snacks to go with the alcohol. So, an idea that we're bouncing around is having a concession table with some food in the vendor room that will go towards the club to support the clubs, and put the hot dog roller over there and some other stuff. We got to check to make sure we are allowed to do that, stuff like that. And then also limit the hospitality room to like maybe an hour around lunch, an hour around dinner, and then after dinner, open it up to its normal operations. I think will work a lot better. And then do you guys think it would be nice to have more speakers, more options, different types of speakers?
Different types for sure, but I'll be honest. It's difficult to leave all the people and go sit down and talk and listen to somebody talk. It's just because you're hanging out with all these people that you want to talk to, that but you don't know, and it's. Even last year, I went to Gary Lang's talk. I didn't go to LRB's. I went to Eric Bodrock's, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 4 speakers last year. I missed 2 of them. It's just hard to pull yourself away from the group to go sit down and talk to the speaker. Not talk to him, but listen to him.
Yeah, I like
that. Maybe that's just for me. I don't know if other people felt that way or not. Even the one thing I was actually interested, the CO2 talk, I think it was. I was interested in. Wasn't there a CO2 talk?
When?
Last year.
This year.
No.
Wasn't that one of?
That might have been one of Joe's talks. Joe Gargas.
I think it was. He had 2, right?
Yeah.
One was. I think one was like basic aquarium stuff, and the other one. Anyways, regardless, there was one talk that I was semi interested in, but again, I didn't want to pull myself away. Oh, Steven said there was. Okay. So that's, I don't know.
Really?
It's difficult. You want to have those speakers there, and if it was a Rachel O'Leary, and maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just the people that I really want to sit down and listen to. I really like Chris Biggs. I like his style. I didn't really know any of these people, so that maybe it's just entirely on me and my ignorance of them. Chris Biggs, Rachel O'Leary. I know she's spoken a lot of times at these events. There's a lot of people that I would like to go see. These 4 people, and nothing against them, but these 4 just weren't them. That's all. So a range of topics, though, is good, I think. I don't think you want to limit it. I think it was nice that there was salt and fresh water involved there.
Yeah, and there seems to be more of an interest of saltwater as well, in addition to. and it is a market that I've been trying to hit. I mean, I know there was at least one coral vendor there this year. I don't know if there was any more than that. We did have Capil do a talk. We had 2 or 3 other saltwater vendors that paid, but they did not show. But part of that was because that fish place had a event going on the same weekend.
Frag swap.
Yeah, frag swap. So that was, a hindrance. They've already said that next year it's not going to be the same weekend. So we could get a little bit more participation. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get Gina's Reef to come, which would be nice. There are a lot of saltwater people in the Fish Fam, and there's a lot of them in the area. So it's something that we do want to hit.
Well, have you thought about expanding it another day?
It gets tough for
Working people?
Working people.
My worry would be how much we would have to charge people to cover the expense of the extra day, though, too. Because I think like $100 a person, that's like your max.
That expo hall is expensive.
Gotcha.
It is really expensive. And the fact that we're going to have the second one next year is going to be really expensive.
Yeah. Gotcha. I was just thinking, because then, and somebody in the chat, who was it? Mickham said that having more than 1 or 2 speakers during the afternoon will erase much of the time for the social networking. So having those 3 days, and you'd have, or maybe you have less speakers. Maybe it's just the 2 speakers, and you have, and that's it.
One thing I noticed last night is in 2019 we had like 6 speakers. I don't remember.
Yeah, also speakers also went, like Eric Bodrock also went until like 11 o'clock, almost midnight though. Like he was starting a talk at like 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
one thing we can do is start earlier on Friday. That's a good possibility.
We did that in the past too. We started, I think our Friday talk started at like 2 or 3. And I think our first Saturday talk was, I don't remember what it was this year. I know we had Jonathan Straczynski the one year. He started like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he was pissed.
Yeah.
Because he had a very long night of drinking the night before.
Yeah. Select that. I can't be the pole dancer. Midget pole dancer.
And Alishon mentioned there in the chat, again, just my ignorance of the people. Jim Cumming, Greg Steves are 2 of the most sought after speakers. Jim spoke in France right after the Clash. So that, it's just my, ignorance of those people. But the topics just weren't really anything I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And Stephen did say 1 talk per speaker as well. That's, that should be it too, I think.
That's a tough thing because we want to justify the expense to bring them here.
Gotcha.
Yet we cover their expenses and we pay them.
Yeah,
make them work the hospitality suite.
What's that? What's that?
You go first, Blake.
I was saying, because like we had like Jim's from Canada. We've had Andreas Tonke in the past from Germany. So I do see with Scotty try to utilize their time as much as we can.
Yeah.
I said make them work the hospitality suite.
Yeah. they usually do.
Press some flesh in there, and just take care of stuff. And
Scotty, I think I was gonna say I think Kyle has a suggestion.
I don't have the schedule in front of me, so correct me if I'm wrong, but have there been any discussions of offering some sort of classes throughout the day? Like maybe for beginning fish keepers, how to choose a fish tank or how to stock one or something like that.
That's a good idea.
Aquascaping class.
Yeah.
Dan's Fish. So you could also bring in some of these big people like Dan's Fish from YouTube. Dan does a talk, but you could actually make it more of a learning experience about how to bag fish correctly.
Like a workshop.
Yes, workshop is the perfect way to say it. That's it.
Or even you just have, a couple of hour-long classes at some point during the day as like breakout sessions, after a speaker or however it's going to be set up.
It's actually a really good idea.
I really like that idea, and we have the space for it. I'm proud of you too, Kyle.
I have my moments.
The tough part would be when to schedule
Scheduling.
it. That's it's. We have enough that we could do a full week, but the problem is we don't have the people to run it.
Oh, going with Kyle's idea though, if you take the speaker, do an actual like fish nerd talk, like collection talk, whatever, and then they can also second
Do a
one could be like a workshop. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and me, yeah, and I mean we'll have options. So like you're not going to be able to attend. Like one thought was have a panel area where there's panel talks going on. We could have a panel talk going on. We could have a speaker, a normal talk going on, and have a workshop area. And you're not going to be able to see all three at once, but you got to pick and choose. But the idea is to have different things for different people. Different people like different things. That's a really good idea. I like that. And John here, he's throwing out all kinds of good ideas. I can't keep up with them. Have a higher level speaker and then basic stuff for beginners. I think that's a great idea. Consolidate space to find another location. Maybe find other more sponsors to cover costs. That is one thing I was that we're gonna talk about in the future is more sponsor opportunities. The hospitality room cost us well over $1,000 this year, just in the product alone, not to count the rent or the cost of the room and stuff like that. That's going to need to be higher. The cost of the awards is going up. The trophies and the necklace thingies, whatever you want to call them.
Medals.
Medals.
Yeah, that exactly.
The necklace.
Necklaces.
I wear it like my bling.
Just give out Jerry beads.
But that cost has gone up. That was almost $1,000. And
people want cash next year too.
Yeah. That was one of our biggest supporters of the fish show that was not there last year or this year. One of the reasons is because most shows give out cash prizes also, even if they're small amounts. And they account for how many entries do you think the two of them
between both brothers? I mean, I'd say 70 plus entries in 2019.
Yeah,
and they brought all their own water. They're psychopaths.
Yes.
Those are the New Jersey guys?
They're out in Ohio, like Youngstown.
Oh no, I was
Dan and Don Gooman. Now you're probably talking about Buzz and Tom.
Yeah.
No, Dan and Don Gooman are twins. They're a freaking trip. I mean, the 2019 they came out and just going up and down the hallway in togas, like. And then one of their poor daughters, Marcy, is the one that brings them along, and I don't know how she does it for a whole weekend.
She's a saint.
She's amazing.
I need to meet these guys.
They're
You'll
great.
love them. You would love them. So yeah, it's there's things. As with everything in life, the cost of doing this is going up, and this year we did not. We purposely did not charge higher amounts this year. In fact, we charged lower because numbers were low last year. The COVID was going on, and we really wanted to, get everybody interested again and we needed to redeem ourselves to the vendors because last year's vendor room sucked. We know it. And we successfully did that. But we also did not make much money this year. So because it is a fundraiser, we do need to change that for next year. Yeah, exactly, Nickum. Let's see here. God, you could have a beginner track, breeder track. That's a really good idea. Awards at the ACA are made by a member with just a $7 nameplate. So awards at the ACA are made by a member. I'd like to get more information on that, John. I'm not quite following, like, what it's the $7 nameplate on what though. I'm not sure.
Right on the fish. They just slap it right on the side of the fish.
Yes.
That'd be over
Little
150
ribbon.
awards for our show too.
And I mean, I've got another idea, possibly.
Yes.
It might be getting too far outside the realm of things, but what if there was a way to possibly live stream a lot of the events from the Clash and charge those that are interested, I don't know, $5 or $10 for access?
I don't know how you'd be able.
I'm sorry?
It might work.
Oh, okay. I mean, just a thought. I don't know how anybody would go about doing that, but
You know, I'm
might
gonna
be an option.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Kyle. I feel like there's
How
so
dare you.
much free content out there. People like Massey, you know, they do all their talks online. Bucks County Aquarium Society was doing a lot of their talks online. So many people, so many clubs. There's so much free content out there. Even the Aquashellas and you know, everybody has live streams that are free. That I think that would be. I don't see a lot of people taking advantage of it.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I mean, I'm no expert by any means, but I just don't see a lot of people taking advantage of that.
Okay.
The
I'll
other
say
part of
NEC
it.
did an online convention, and it seems like it was very well attended. Now that was in place of their in-person convention, but
Yeah.
having the option, I'm not sure. I can see it going either way on that.
And I've heard NEC is going back live again.
I've heard both, so I have no idea.
Okay. And then also, I know Bucks County is ending doing the virtual
Yeah.
streams. I think next month is the last month for it.
Yeah, they did say that.
Yeah. John's left pads. The drawing, painting on the wood, and a new plate on it. I really like that idea because these trophies stuff are expensive.
Also, I don't want to offer his services, but Chattanooga Ed is so crafty.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys paid for his ticket, he would make all the awards for you or something. Obviously, I'm not offering his services, but maybe something to approach. He made the awards for Aquashella. He's made them a few different times now, so he does a great job with that. He might make some of the awards for you and he would take care of all of it if you just But again, something to think about. Maybe reach out to Ed and see if he's interested. Yeah.
I'm piggybacking off of that. Ed and I had a conversation at the Clash where he did offer Scotty, if you wanted to do something like for fun for attendees, a cornhole tournament, that he would be more than happy to make the boards for you.
Yes,
We have all that hallway space.
That was a huge hit. You know what? I was watching most of the Aquashella stuff today, and that stream with Ed announcing was the best stream out of all of them.
Yeah,
It was
100%.
amazing. It was so much fun. It was engaging. You got to see all these different people, and it doesn't have to be just creators. And the Aquashella is more about creators. This is more about people, right? So it could just be people, whoever wanted to, pair up in teams.
Yep.
You obviously have to manage it somehow, but I would love to see that happen there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
With Ed announcing. Ed's got to announce, though. That's what makes it.
Yes. I really want to get more of those Tennessee people at the Clash.
Some of them are all right.
Yeah. There's a good group there and a lot of participation that we could have. If I can't move there, then they can come visit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What else did I want to touch on? So next year we're gonna have more rooms, but not all of them. Get your tickets early, register early. The early bird special is going to be a lot shorter. Get your hotel rooms, get your vendor spaces right away. What I miss?
John McKenzie just made me snort.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm pretty sure that Best of Show trophy was taller than him, though, wasn't it? Might have trouble lifting that.
And I would have been taller than him, too, if he didn't have his damn boots on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already working on next year's speakers. And I'm excited for some of them, for sure. Hotel room Tuesday night broskies. I don't think that we'll be able to include Tuesday in the block. You're more than welcome to get a room Tuesday night, but I can't. I got to choose my battles with the hotel, and the priority is going to be to get more rooms. But I am going to increase the numbers for Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
We're definitely coming in Wednesday, and I think we're going to stay Sunday night. I have to talk to the boss about that and see. But
Yeah.
we're definitely coming in Wednesday, and I'm hoping to stay through Sunday night instead of leaving Sunday.
And thank you, Select Pet. I appreciate it. I really do. Bruiser, hello. Welcome. I don't think I said hello to you. John McKenzie. And the Nano Aquarium guy. Hello. All right. Any final thoughts? Anything else you guys want to talk about? I didn't have a chance to make notes of what I wanted to talk about like I usually do.
Thank you. Just a huge thank you. We had a blast. Last year was fun. Last year I was like, man, we're coming back for sure. And then this year I'm like, let's do it again next month. I can't wait to go back again. I just absolutely love it. It is my one big event every year. Yeah. It's something that keeps me looking forward to it. It lets me survive the FOMO from all the, Aquashellas and Fishtoberfest. And so it gets me my fix for the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you. You guys did an amazing job overall. Blake, Scotty, Callie, Skipper, just the entire crew. What's her name? Karen Haas, is that?
Yeah.
Karen, just, all the different people, you guys did an amazing job. You've got such a great bedrock to build off of. I just can't wait to see what happens next year.
Yeah. We echo that too. Yeah. You guys did phenomenal. And to have us literally sitting here planning and waiting to book hotel rooms right now for next year should tell you, and making the 26-hour drive should tell you everything that you need to know about the success of the event.
And we want it to be successful for you guys, for the vendors. That is, probably the one bit of feedback that I did have time and made sure I had time to go around and ask and continue to ask is, was it successful? I believe so far I've only heard from one person that it wasn't. Only one vendor. Everyone else has said yes. Most have sold out, or did well enough that they are extremely happy. And that's what it's about. We want it to be successful for the vendors, but also one of the biggest thing is about this event is it's for the hobbyists. Other events are for the vendors, for the manufacturers, for the industry. The Clash is for the hobbyists. We want to bring in vendors for the hobbyists. We want to bring in speakers for the hobbyists. We want to have a fish show for the hobbyists. We want to have an auction for the hobbyists. We want to have a hospitality room for the hobbyists. That's really what it's all about. And, I am perfectly fine keeping it 250 to 500 people in attendance. I really don't want it to get more than that because we can't focus on the hobbyists like our mission is. So, all right. And with that, I thank you, everyone that was on panel with me. I appreciate it. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for everyone in the chat and the lurkers. And thank you for everyone that attended the Clash. We appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.